everybody. This is the AnavCast. I'm Johnny, and sitting over on the digital couch, we have DiJaDi.
Howdy.
And Produce Farmer.
Hello.
And sitting back in the digital sound booth over there is our boy Craig, our audio engineer. And so, D, why are we starting a podcast, and what is a AnavCast anyway?
I think a AnavCast is a great opportunity for us to get together and chat, and also to be able to kind of involve the community in that as well. And I don't think that we really get dedicated time to do so. And so having this time to do so, I feel like, is a really good step in the direction of just making sure that we're intentional about that. And Anav's here is all about intentional community. So when it comes down to it. And so I think it kind of fits in with our core values rather well, as we have this wonderful community of individuals that's super welcoming to everyone. I'm not ready for this, Johnny.
Don't worry about long pauses, because I'm going to cut them out. Don't worry about it. Just like me interrupting you, if you keep going, I'm going to cut it out. Don't worry about it. Except this, I'm going to leave this part in where I'm saying I'm going to cut it out. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. I was going to say, for those listening, we have been talking about doing a podcast. What year is it?
It's 2024.
2024, the year of our Lord. And we have been talking about doing a podcast for 12 years or something
like that, actually.
Something like that for quite a bit.
Yeah, and we revisit every year in January. We talk about what we would need to do to get it started, and it's happening. It's happening right now. It turned out that our biggest hurdle was not really a hurdle. It just took a simple Google search.
And Craig.
And Craig. Thank you so much, Craig.
Yeah, Craig, thank you so much. Again, Craig joined the team and has been working all of this stuff out for us. We really appreciate it. Not a member of a NAV.
More like an unpaid intern.
Yeah, more like an unpaid intern. And so for those who don't know, this is a long time coming, this episode 1, which probably maybe won't even get released. We don't know. We'll see.
Well, it's kind of like starts with a New Year's resolution. It's like every year it's a resolution that we always, just,
fail.
Like a normal resolution that we just don't do.
I went to the gym. I've been going to the gym for like the last few months, and I went to the gym and I was expecting right after New Year's there to be a lot of people, and a lot of the regulars actually were not present, which I found to be very funny. Over like the Christmas New Year break, my family and I went on vacation. We live in Japan. We went on vacation to another island, and we were visiting some friends, and I was listening to a podcast, and I was messaging DiJaDi that truly the saddest part of not having an Anav podcast is that we can't give out awards to movies and video games.
I mean, that's not untrue. Yeah.
Going back, and I feel like starting this podcast now, we could still do this. We could give out awards for 2023.
By all means.
Why do I want to start a podcast? Because I want to give like the game no one asked for of 2023 award, right? I want to give get some good bad awards going. I guess we also should do like best whatever. That's a great award. The best whatever award of 2023.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think the best PS2 game is another good one. We've talked about the best PS2 game of 2023. But really quick, backtracking here, with the conversation of what is a NAV. A AnavCast. What is a NAV? DiJaDi said a NAV is all about intentional community and such. Farmer, what would you say a NAV is?
Oh, what a question.
Yeah, put you on the spot.
A NAV to me is about a community of like-minded individuals, just like kind of like David was saying earlier. But it's just like I think we all came together with having similar interests, hobbies, but in a sense where we're all coming together to for one, to kind of like share that in the community that is maybe more safe, not as toxic. There's lots of communities out there that that are not as welcoming, maybe as or even more of a toxic environment. I feel like here in Nav,
Is there any communities you want to call out right now?
nothing specific, but I think more than anything, like there's a lot of communities out there, but I think there's something for everybody here, here, and something that's more welcoming. And I think there are communities like that out there, but they're few and far between, and you can't always find them that easily. And I want to be kind of like an outlet, here in a Nav or wherever, honestly, to be like bringing people to somewhere where it's they can be themselves, interact, have a good time, talk about what they like, what they love about gaming, or any kind of hobby that they have. Really, it doesn't have to be gaming. It could be music, it could be art, it could be really anything. But that's kind of what it means to me.
That's awesome. For me, it's interesting because Anav has definitely had different eras, right? And like this most recent era of Anav, I'm considered a longtime member, but you've been a member of Anav longer than me. And Anav, to me, was, I mean, it's an online gaming community, right? And it's just interesting because it's not something that I really valued. I personally put a lot of focus and emphasis on what's going on right in front of me, like physically. And like, and this includes like people, right? And those relationships. And it's just really interesting, even pre COVID-19 and all of that stuff, I've really found this online community to just be great. I really care about everyone, and to get to share. On one hand, we all have a really easy connection and that we all enjoy playing games together. But getting to explore more things that we enjoy together has been great. And it's not something that I really would have thought, that this online community would be so important to me. But it is. And so as part of it, David, DiJaDi, and Ethan Farmer and we'd all been talking about doing some kind of podcast, and it's finally happening. But D, before we move on, is there anything you want to add, circling back to that original question of what is a Nav? Is there anything we missed?
I don't think so. I mean, I think a Nav is really something special in the dynamic that we've achieved in having this space where people can feel welcome and absent the toxicity that like pervades a lot of other communities. And
any communities in specific you want to call out?
I love how you keep going to that.
Anyone specifically you want to call out?
No. I'm just really, really happy that it's persisted all this time. A Nav, not the toxicity. And
I just wish the toxicity would just keep coming. Grow in leaps and bounds. It's something actually that David and I were kind of talking about a little bit earlier. Was like, how he kind of like had to twist your arm, to get into this into a Nav.
This is true. I never filled out an application.
Yeah, never filled out an application, but it's become something of a little bit more, and I think everybody's kind of felt that. And I think with these communities, like a Nav or any other community that's kind of like that, you become friends, you become something a little bit more than that too. It's almost basically family, it's to that next level.
For those who don't know, in 2023, my wife and I had twins, which has just been a totally new adventure for us.
When's their birthday coming out?
Their birthday is March 2nd.
Yeah, it's very soon. Yeah,
March 2nd. They'll be 1 year old. But my wife shot down Anav Sierra as the twin names pretty quick. No, Anav and Sierra. I think it would be cool.
Anav and Sierra.
Yeah, Anav and Sierra. but moving right along, The only other things we have here to chat about is what do you guys think were your favorite movies of 2023? What movies even came out in 2023?
Jeez.
Did anyone go to the theater in 20? I only went to the theater one time in 2023.
So are we, does it matter? Does it have to be live action or animated?
I don't think it really matters. Do you think it matters?
No.
I mean, we're not giving out we're not doing awards right now.
Right.
I'm going to say
not
that.
an
We're
award
not
ceremony.
doing the awards. This is what were
Okay.
some of your favorite movies of 2023? Oh man, there a lot of movies came out in 2023. I
Yeah.
just looked up 2023 movie. Wow.
I liked Wish a lot. I disagreed with like part of the messaging, but I liked it a lot. I really liked Godzilla -1. Godzilla -1 was probably my favorite movie of last year.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pull out the one everybody's thinking of, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's all I'm gonna say.
The movie that nobody saw.
No, that was not my favorite movie. It was okay, but I mean, man, it's really between two animated films for me, and I don't know if anybody else is struggling with that, but so Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, amazing film, loved it so much.
I still have not seen that.
Super Mario Brothers movie was also an amazing movie. And I'm just going to have to go with the animated films for 2023. Honestly, I can't think of any live action that was better than those two animated films, honestly, to me.
I only saw one movie in theaters this year, which was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I really loved that movie, actually. Which is weird because I feel like I totally forgot about it. But
I totally did because
movie.
I haven't seen it.
Fantastic movie, Guardians 3. But the Mario movie was a huge deal in my house. I very much agree with you. Like, we were watching Peaches all the time on YouTube before we saw the movie, and watching the movie was a whole ordeal. We didn't get to see it in theaters because in Japan, it was only playing in Japanese dub.
Really?
Like, the closest place we could find that was playing in English was in Tokyo, like 2 hours away. So we were like, we're not going to drive 2 hours to go see the movie,
Yeah, understandable.
So that movie was a really big one. I really loved it. What about you, D?
I mean, I haven't seen Super Mario Brothers either, apparently.
You haven't seen Mario? What?
No. Yeah. I'd like to change my answer, though. My favorite movie of last year was Fast X.
Fast X.
I
bringing home to the family. Not surprised here.
Yeah.
Another really good movie last year was Elemental. Elemental did something that very few movies have done for me, in that I was forced to watch the movie. And so I went into it with a bad attitude, and the movie won me over, which I love.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Right? Like so for me, my family's like, we're going to watch this movie. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this movie. It looks stupid. And then like by the end of the movie, no one else in the family is watching it. And I'm the one I cried watching that movie. It was so good. So that one, another really special one. I know both of the ones I said were animated. I did not see Into the Spider-Verse because I heard that it has a hardcore cliffhanger ending, and I wanted to wait until the next one comes out, and I'll just watch them both.
That makes sense.
I'm that person.
Yeah, that's I totally get that. I totally wouldn't be able to wait, but I totally understand that at the same time. And yeah, it's definitely one that you do not want to watch if you care about cliffhangers and that sort of thing.
Which was the worst part about Fast 10, no spoilers, huge cliffhanger ending. And the next movie doesn't even come out for 2 years. I'll throw that out there.
So you got on another note, what's the best sleeper movie of 2023, or even sleeper title game of 2023.
Well, let's stick with movies. Sleeper movie. I feel like I can't say Elemental because it was like it's a Pixar movie, right? So it was huge.
Yeah, but I mean, Pixar hasn't been as big as they used to be either. So I guess you could say that.
People are tired of feelings,
Pixar does.
So true.
Pixar does things with their, films that other people do, other studios, don't capture the same way. I definitely feel you right there.
Looking through the lists of movies that came out in 2023, what I'm realizing is I didn't see a lot of movies last year.
I don't have a sleeper hit, but I do have a movie that won me over where I was not excited about the Marvels going into it. And by the end, I was just delighted with that film. I thought it was fantastic.
Another movie
I really enjoyed it.
Watched.
I haven't seen the Marvels either. I think a good honorable mention is the Little Mermaid remake. I actually really liked it. They addressed things. They fixed things from the original movie that made Ariel seem dumb. They fixed it, and it was. I really enjoyed the new movie quite a bit. So for those of you listening who don't really know me, I'm kind of a negative person. Can we get into movies that we didn't like? I watched. Is it Oppenheimer or Oppenheimer? Because Toei corrected me and said it's Oppenheimer, not Oppenheimer.
I think it's Oppenheimer, yeah.
But in the movie, they call him Oppenheimer. His name is Oppenheimer. They call him Opie. Yeah.
I've heard it both ways. That's all I know.
Wow.
So that movie is 3 hours long, and I watched 2 hours of it.
Oof.
And liked it so far. Didn't finish it, and I'll finish it eventually.
That's like me and Tenet. I watched the first half of Tenet, and I loved it, and I just never got back to it.
Spoiler, I'm pretty sure they're going to finish the bomb. Spoiler. Pretty sure I know which city. When I finished, they hadn't decided which cities they're dropping them on. Pretty sure I know. I just got a sense for those things. I recently watched Barbie, and I did not really like it. Which I was pretty disappointed that I didn't really like it. And I think it was just overhyped for me. So many people really loved it and were talking about how awesome of a movie it was. Not that awesome. Not that great.
I think you were pretty kind of center negative on it. And I think where I felt was center positive on it. Where you didn't hate it necessarily. I didn't love it necessarily. But I think we also came across, because we discussed it prior, I think we had pretty similar takes on it though too. That it doesn't really commit to anything, and that kind of leaves it almost lacking in a way.
Did you see the movie?
I did not.
It's worth watching, and I'd heard positive and negative things about the movie, but I'll never watch it again. I don't need to see it a second time. Kind of a feeling.
My question is, what's your all's favorite TV show?
Oh my gosh.
Of 2023.
Westworld.
Okay, so David and I watched Westworld. We finished Westworld season 4, but I don't think that came out in 2023.
Yeah, I don't actually remember.
It came out in 2022. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
So that was definitely my favorite show that I watched, but that came out this year.
Came out this year and was hands down your favorite show to watch this year. Yeah.
Well, last year, right?
2023.
Yeah,
yes.
2023.
Yeah.
What
Not
about
2022, but 2023.
What about you, D? Or what about you, Farm? Do you have one right off the bat?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Halo Season 1.
No, that didn't come out in 2023 anyways.
Didn't see it.
One Piece.
Ooh.
One Piece is my TV show of 2023, and wow, that's all I can say.
I'm assuming you mean
I've never actually
Netflix live action One Piece.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you got it. The Netflix adaptation of One Piece. I've actually never really watched One Piece, and I've actually gone back now just because I've never really watched it. Any of them, any of the manga or whatever. And really, it got me into it, honestly. that show, they did such a good job for at least in my opinion. I don't know everything about it. You know, I'm new to the whole franchise, but
Right.
wow. All I can say is wow, it's really good.
That show gave me a lot of hope. I'm a really big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. I have been since it was on TV. I watched it on TV, and Netflix is doing a live action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And how good the One Piece adaptation was really gave me a lot of hope. And I mean, all the stuff I've seen, Avatar is coming out this year in February. Pretty pumped. For me,
Wow.
I'm not going to count Westworld Season 4 because it came out in 2022. I am in a bit of a toss-up here between The Mandalorian Season 3. Really loved it. And Wheel of Time Season 2.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wheel of Time.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Season 2 was great. Fantastic. You know, it had its moments.
Also enjoyed.
Like oh, okay.
I actually enjoyed season 2 as well. It did. No, I just enjoyed it. You know, I just enjoyed it.
I feel like, especially compared to season 1, it really hit its stride, knew what it was, and season 2, it ended very well. I feel like it was almost the opposite of season 1, which season 1 I felt started pretty good but ended kind of meh. But you know,
yeah, I feel the same way, and that comes from somebody who doesn't know a lot about the background history of the books and everything. D, your thoughts?
Yeah,
I mean, that would probably be the favorite TV. I was gonna say Loki season 2 because that was really good as well. But I think Wheel of Time season 2 probably was my favorite TV show that actually came out last year. When it comes down to it, I think it was a really, really inspired adaptation in a lot of ways. I thought I was going to hate some of the directions that they went in, and they brought me back around within 2 episodes. And it was like, wow, okay, no, this actually totally makes sense, totally fits. I mean, I read the book series a few times, so
4 times.
I had certain expectations, but I think that they surpassed those expectations in making it a solid adaptation.
What were some of the main differences, D, that you would, that they had to, I guess? I know they had some production troubles because of, switching actors and whatnot. Can you give us any insight on that and what your thoughts are and how they pull that off and everything?
Well, I would say it's actually a criticism of it. The only real huge difference I feel that I struggle with is that the power levels of everyone involved are significantly different. Specifically, one of the main characters, Nynaeve, and
how do you pronounce that?
And the Forsaken, some of the main antagonists in the show, seem way more powerful than they did in the books. But I think that the show did a way better job in season 2 of kind of explaining at least some of that away. And I'm excited to see where it goes next.
And moving right along, because we're at 25 minutes. What was your favorite games of 2023? And let's stick with games that released. And I guess we could include DLCs. I'll go first, though, if you don't mind. First, I want to bring up, I play game. I only have Mac, and so I play games just on an Xbox or on a Switch. And so I did not play Baldur's Gate 3 until 2024. So I will not include that for myself. So really, I would say it's a pretty big toss-up, but I think I'm going to go with Tears of the Kingdom. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was my favorite game of 2023. The other toss-up was Jedi Survivor.
Ooh, another good game.
Yeah.
How about you, Farm?
Ooh, wow. Why'd you have to do me next? Oh, man. There were so many good games of 2023, and so many that came out of nowhere. I felt like I didn't realize they were all going to release in 2023.
Yeah, I pulled up a list, and the list is pretty great.
it's just like there's so many that I haven't even been able to experience, like yourself, like you said. So I obviously am not going to include those in my favorites, not because they wouldn't be my favorites. It's just I didn't get a chance to get around to playing them. But hands down for me is going to be Alan Wake 2.
And I thought you were going to say that. I'm so happy.
It's just such a good game overall. They did, they went a different direction a little bit than, the previous title, with giving a little bit more horror elements, but the way that it transitions to it in the way that the story arc is, it just kind of makes sense for them to go that way. And it's just so phenomenal. I love it for the story and for the gameplay, but also for the music and the direction that they went. I also got to watch them live perform. The old gods of Asgard did a live performance on the Game Awards, and wow, it's just so good. So yeah, I could probably go on about Alan Wake for a long time, but that we can save that for another day. But probably Jedi Survivor after that, honestly.
What a good game.
Such a good game. I just had so much fun with it. I pretty much played all of it on the hardest level just to kind of soak in each and every moment of it. For me, that's what I like to do with games. Whenever I play it on hard, that just means I get to spend more time in the game. And that's how I do it.
I was replaying it with on New Game Plus, and it's been a lot of fun. But I just started Baldur's Gate 3, so probably I won't continue that for a while. But what about you, D? So for those who don't know, DiJaDi is our resident game jumper, who I would say he's probably... So I'm looking at a list right now of games that came out in 2023. David's probably played the most of these between you and me, Farm.
Probably.
I don't necessarily know that that's the case. Maybe, but a lot of the games that I played this year are older games.
That's true.
And this year has also been probably my worst game jumping year in a while too. So, because I ended up getting sucked into a number of games for significant amounts of time. My number one played game this year or this past year was Destiny 2, and it's
rest in peace, Destiny 2.
Rest in peace. Yeah. And then Halo Infinite was also up there, where I spent a lot of time forging and all that jazz.
That is true.
I think my favorite game of last year was probably, though, when it comes down to it, Starfield, without question. There's not really anything that I think about nearly as much that left as big of an impact on me. That despite some of the archaic systems of it, despite some of the glitchiness of Bethesda games as they are, just what that game does and the different aspects to that game are really combined to create something special and that I thoroughly enjoyed, where I was able to immerse myself in it for way too long. And I'm actually terrified of going back to it because I know it'll just end up sucking me back in, and I just won't be able to escape again for another 500 hours or so.
If you would like to let DiJaDi know how you feel about Starfield, feel free to find him at DiJaDi on all social media.
I think that there's a few other games that deserve honorable mentions. Cocoon is one of the best puzzlers that I've played in a really long time.
I actually saw you stream that one, and it seemed really cool.
Yes, very, very cool. I also really enjoyed Tectonica, which is a factory building game that I spent also way too much time in. But yeah, I think that's... Oh, Dreamlight Valley, too, actually, is a really, really the best Disney game to ever come out.
Wow. You heard it here first.
Wow.
AnavCast, the best Disney game to ever come out.
Without question, yeah.
Without question. Take that, Kingdom Hearts.
But Johnny's still a little sore.
I stand by my statement. My statement. I really do. Yeah.
I'd also like to add to the Starfield that I personally had a lot of fun doing Starfield. playing Starfield, even though it wasn't like my top two. It was right up there, probably my top 5 for sure of this year, just because all the different things you'd get into, and it just like would be like you get into just going to, this one objective, and it would just be like, it would spiral you into a whole different set of events that would happen. And all of a sudden you'd be on the other side of the planet and you didn't know what was going on. And you just didn't, and you just went with it, and it became your story. And I was doing this with David and my brother Hayden, and while they were playing it, and it's just like our adventure, our journey in Starfield was all very tailored to our own game playing styles, but what choices we made during our gameplay. So it was like huge. It was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Glitches here and there, but that's just part of it. That was fun. The other title, I have to make mention of this one because I didn't earlier, but I have to. Spider-Man 2. I played that game and had so much fun with it. Did any of you guys play that game?
I do not have a PlayStation, and I watched actually on that vacation I went on. I watched Chiho play Spider-Man at a friend's house. Our friend's house, and I watched Spider-Man kill people with manhole covers and kicking people off of buildings. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's quite a game. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. You guys haven't played it, but wow, all I can say is such a good game, and yeah, another dynamite game by Insomniac.
And before we get too far from it, just for the audience's sake, I want to bring up, I think I played 5 or 6 hours of Starfield, and I hated every minute of it. Every minute of that game, I was like, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get better. How long do I have to do this before I can finally stop? And eventually I stopped. So don't worry, everybody. Don't worry. This isn't just a Starfield love podcast. I hated that game. It was awful. Awful. Some of that may have been on me. Some of that may have been on me and the choices I made and like the build that I tried to go with, not knowing the game. But also make a better game, Bethesda. How about that? How about
hot takes with Johnny right here, right now?
Next time they try to make it fun, that would be cool. But yeah, I didn't play too long.
Just lost that Bethesda sponsorship.
Yeah.
I saw this.
We're so close too.
I saw Bethesda responding to somebody and then basically being like, "The problem's not our game. The problem's you." For not liking the game, which I thought was funny.
I did not see that. Wow.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. I was like, cool. I mean, hey, you know what? Like, I've never made a video game, so probably it's hard. I get it. But also, make it more fun next time. How about just giving a map would be nice?
That's coming.
It's coming, yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah. That's like Cyberpunk. Like, I didn't play a lot of Cyberpunk, but I hear it's great now. Right?
Oh, you should definitely play it.
I had a game breaking glitch like 24 hours in, and I've never been back. Yeah, I should probably.
Did you hear that they're in development for the next title associated with Cyberpunk 2077?
Is it 2077? 2024. Now it's 2024.
2024.
Is it 2077? Is that the number?
2077.
Yeah. Cyberpunk 2024 would be a pretty boring game, I feel like.
Just 3 guys talking in a booth.
It's just guys sitting around talking about like the Apple Vision Quest being released. Or Vision Quest Pro. They're like, oh man, they finally got that USB-C on the iPhone. Crazy.
What about some of these other titles? Neither one of on none of our lists.
I played a lot of Fortnite this year. I played a lot of Destiny. I played actually I played a lot of RIP. I played a lot of Monster Hunter Rise, with my son on the Switch. But other games that came out in 2023, Wild Hearts. It's like a Monster Hunter ripoff, and that sucked. Played a little bit of that. Great job,
I'm glad
EA.
you tried it, so I didn't have to.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that and thought it was terrible. There's this game Venba I'm looking at here, and this was like a cooking game that I wanted to try, and I think I had seen some people stream it, and I never had a chance to try it. I should go back and try that one. A new Assassin's Creed game came out. Big surprise there. Haven't finished one of those since Unity.
I'm actually really excited about that, actually. I just got it, and I think David just got it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try it out because it's apparently it's supposed to be kind of like a callback to the original Assassin's Creed, kind of like a turning back,
I
homage
know
to it a little.
the new Mario game came out, Super Mario Wonder. I did not get a chance to play that either. But it's more of a side scroller than like the 3D one as well.
I got that for the kids for Christmas, and let me just tell you, as a fan of Mario, this is a great game. It really is. If you're looking for the 3D world Mario type of game, that's not what this is. But for the standard 2D 2D platformer, that is everything that Mario started and still is with. That they continue to do the 2D platformers. This is amazing, and it's so much fun to play with the kids. Up to 4 players.
It's up to 4
it's
players.
A lot of fun. Up to 4 players, and it like they add these badges that you get to change kind of your skill set as you go along. A lot of fun. You get to kind of change the gameplay as you go, each level and whatnot. So, yeah, super fun.
Oh wow, check that
Super
out.
fun.
Very nice. DiJaDi played a lot of Redfall on stream. That game came out this year.
Yeah.
Octopath
The worst
Traveler.
game of 2023, they call it.
Wow.
I disagree. But
they got the Raspberry
Nice.
Award, or is that what they call it?
Didn't the Gollum game come out this year? Shouldn't that have
Yeah.
gotten the worst game of 2023? That's the game that
I
I
don't
wanted
think
to
it
give
was-
the game no one asked for, the Gollum game.
and a King Kong game came out that was also really terrible. But yeah.
There is
I wanted Gollum to be good, but
Octopath Traveler 2 came out this year. I enjoyed the first one, but I never finished it. And
I did not either. I need to. Yeah.
Also, quick looking over Octopath Traveler 2, it doesn't look like any of these characters are from the other one. So it looks like it's just totally separate. I'm not sure exactly. And then
Doing like a Final Fantasy kind of thing.
Diablo 4 came out this year.
it did indeed, and I still
Yes,
have
Diablo
not gotten
4
that
is
game.
Diablo 4 is a great game. I do really, really enjoy having had like 7 hardcore characters die on me. It's been wonderful.
I've never played Diablo 4 Act 1.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try it someday. But guys, we're also at 41 minutes. We should probably start to wrap it up. Does anyone have any closing thoughts on the first episode of AnavCast?
Don't release this one.
Oh no, I'm gonna edit. I'm keeping this in now. I'm gonna edit this audio, so you have to release this one. The first one, I thought this went really well. For a first podcast, I thought this went really well. I think we should release
Not
it.
bad.
Not
Not
bad.
bad at all.
If we release this, we can only go up,
sure, yeah, that's true.
right? Started at
Very
the bottom,
true.
and here we are at the bottom. Let's do it. I mean, how can we not release this? This is the first time we've hung out with Craig over there in the
That's
digital
true.
sound booth.
True, Craig.
But any closing thoughts? Go ahead, Farm.
Closing thoughts. Are we talking about 2023 still, or are we
Oh no,
going
well, I
forward?
mean, I'm just trying to wrap up this episode.
Well, I can't end the episode without making mention to Hogwarts Legacy. Is all I can
Oh
say.
wow, okay, here we
We
go.
did not say anything about it, but I think I played that game maybe more than anything, honestly.
Really?
I think I might have.
That is a
than
very
any game
controversial
in
game.
2023. Yeah.
Now we
That's
can't
what they
release this
say.
episode.
You can just cut this out.
No,
But,
we're not. We're keeping it in now.
Hogwarts Legacy, amazing game. Loved every moment of it.
As soon as anyone says cut this out, it stays in. Cannot cut out. Cannot cut it out. Hogwarts Legacy.
Anyway.
So, being someone who did not read Harry Potter and I only watched the movies as an adult, I've got no skin in that game. I also didn't play Hogwarts Legacy.
I feel like you can play that game without having to know anything about the whole thing, about any of the franchise. It has nothing to do with. I mean, there's loose tie-ins here and there, but honestly, it's its own thing.
All right, there we go. Those are honorable mentions. D, do you have any closing comments?
Nope.
All right. Well, that's the end of this episode. I hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you for the next one. Thanks, Farm. Thanks, D, for being here. Craig, thank you. Appreciate you. Bye.